trips, the monthly payment on the car that's barely affordable, the bag that represents several weeks of savings. When a product is primarily purchased by people reaching for it, rather than people who barely notice its price, the signal it sends starts to shift. The Rolex that was once associated with genuine financial success is now accessible enough through brand extensions, the used market, and financing options that luxury brands don't advertise. That wearing one tells observers far less about your actual net worth than it did 30 years ago. The genuinely wealthy have noticed this, and many of them have quietly moved on. The watches favored at the highest levels of genuine wealth tend to be either exceptionally obscure or conspicuously unglamorous, precisely because the point is not to communicate anything. The car is a reliable 10-year-old vehicle, not because they can't afford another one, but because there's simply no reason to replace something that works. There's a psychological shift that tends to happen at some point in the accumulation of wealth, not at a specific dollar figure, because it's not about the number, where the relationship between your financial position and your external presentation stops being a live question. Before that shift, the question of how you look to others is constantly adjacent to how you're doing financially, because the two things feel like the same question. You earn more, you buy a better car, not because the better car is actually better for your life, but because it communicates to the world and to yourself that the earning more has happened and is real. After that shift, the two questions fully decouple. You know what you have, you know it's secure, and whether the coffee shop or the neighbor knows it becomes genuinely irrelevant, not as a discipline you're imposing on yourself, but as a natural consequence of not needing external validation to confirm what's already internally settled. This is why the wealthy person driving the unglamorous car isn't making a sacrifice. They're genuinely not thinking about the car in those terms. The car is transport. The money that didn't go into a status vehicle is compounding somewhere else, doing something far more useful than announcing their financial position to strangers at traffic lights. It's worth being concrete about what this looks like in practice, because the rich look poor can mean very different things.